Let me ask you something honest. Something most people are too afraid to ask themselves. When you feel stuck in life, is it really because you don't know what to do? Or is it because you do know, and that knowing scares you? Think about it. You already know you should wake up earlier. You already know you should stop wasting hours on your phone. You already know which habit is slowly pulling you backward. You already know which conversation you have been avoiding. You already know what needs to change. You don't need another video. You don't need another book. You don't need more advice. You need the courage to face what you already know. And that is the hardest thing a human being can do. His name was Kabir, 26 years old, educated, thoughtful, sensitive. On the outside, his life looked fine. A decent job, a small apartment, people who cared about him. But inside, Kabir carried a quiet restlessness. Every night before sleeping, the same feeling returned. Not sadness exactly, more like thoughtful disappointment. Like he was watching his own life happen to someone else. Like he was always almost living, but never fully arriving. He consumed motivation every single day. Podcasts in the morning, videos at night, quotes saved on his phone, hundreds of them. But nothing changed. And slowly, without even realizing it, Kabir started to believe that he just hadn't found the right advice yet. That somewhere out there was a perfect piece of wisdom that would finally unlock him. He kept searching. He kept waiting. One Friday night, Kabir was sitting alone, phone in hand, scrolling. He came across a short video, a man talking about discipline. Kabir watched it fully, felt something stir inside his chest, saved it, closed the app, picked up his phone again 10 minutes later, and something broke inside him. Not dramatically, not loudly, just quietly, something broke. He put the phone down on the table, sat in the silence of his room, and the silence asked him a question he had been running from for years. "Kabir, what are you waiting for?" He didn't answer, because answering meant admitting something he wasn't ready to admit, that he already knew everything he needed to know, and he had known it for a long time. The next morning, Kabir visited his grandmother. She was old now, moved slowly, spoke softly. But her eyes, sharp and full of something unspoken. They sat together on her small balcony, tea in hand, birds in the distance. After a long silence, his grandmother looked at him and said, "You have your grandfather's eyes, you know, full of thinking." Kabir smiled. Then she said something else. "He used to sit exactly like you. Quiet, thinking, planning." She paused, looking into her cup. "He thought for so long that by the time he was ready to act, time had already moved on without him." She didn't say it with sadness. She said it simply, like a fact, like a gift wrapped in a gentle warning. Kabir looked at the empty street below the balcony, and for the first time, he didn't see a street. He saw time, moving, quietly, without waiting for anyone. Kabir walked home with something different in his chest. Not motivation, not excitement. Something quieter, heavier, more real. He sat at his desk and opened a notebook. Not to plan, not to write goals, just to be honest. He wrote one question at the top of the page. What do I already know that I keep pretending I don't? And then he wrote. He wrote that he knew his job was slowly shrinking his soul. He wrote that he knew the friendship he kept holding on to was built on his own fear of being alone. He wrote that he knew his mornings were being stolen by a screen. He wrote that he knew exactly what kind of person he wanted to become. Page after page. No searching, no advice needed. It was all already inside him. It had always been there, sitting quietly, waiting to be faced. Tears came, not from sadness, from the strange relief of finally being honest with himself. He closed the notebook, and then he did the one thing he had been avoiding for years. He started. Here is what I want you to understand. We live in a world drowning in information, tips, hacks, strategies, systems, and yet so many people remain stuck. Not because they lack knowledge, but because knowledge without honesty is just noise. The truth is, most of us already know what we need to do. We know the habit to break, we know the relationship draining us, we know the work we have been avoiding. We know the version of ourselves we are capable of becoming. We know. But knowing is uncomfortable, because knowing means you are responsible. If you don't know, you can stay confused. If you don't know, you can keep searching. If you don't know, you have an excuse. But the moment you admit you do know, the excuse disappears, and only two things remain: the action and the fear of taking it. Choose the action. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Kabir did not transform overnight. He stumbled, he doubted, he had bad days, but he stopped searching for new answers. He started living the answers he already had, and slowly, very slowly, the restlessness faded. Not because life became perfect, but because he stopped lying to himself. And there is a freedom in that kind of honesty, a quiet, unshakable freedom. Maybe you came to this video looking for something new, some fresh idea, some secret strategy. But the truth is, I haven't told you anything you didn't already know. I just reminded you. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are someone standing in front of a door you already know how to open. You are just afraid of what's on the other side. Open it anyway, because the life you keep waiting for is already waiting for you.